Welcome to Bridging the Gap, the Madison County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where Madison County's stories and businesses connect. I'm Sarah Pugh, the Executive Director of the Madison County Chamber of Commerce. Each episode spotlights the people, businesses, and nonprofits that make our community thrive while sharing the stories behind what they do. We're looking forward to learning more about their story and their connection to Madison County. Today I'm here with Nicole and Lindsay with the ISU Extension Office. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So for those who may not be familiar, can you tell us more about you and how you got started with the ISU Extension Office?
Of course, yeah. So I'm Nicole Naven. I am the Madison County Extension Director. And so I got started with the Extension Office about 8 years ago. I started as the office assistant. And just kind of grew from there. And now I'm the director and I do a little bit of everything. So I oversee programming, staffing needs. I'm kind of the liaison between the council, the extension council, and our office. Yeah, that's kind of the basics of what I do.
Okay. And Lindsay, how about you?
Yeah, so I have held a lot of different roles at the extension office in the 5 years that I've been there. So I started off as the fair intern. So it was a temporary summer position and just involved with the fair. And then somehow I just never left and rolled into some youth programming and adult programming, and then kind of shifted to being more of the 4-H side of things. And so now my actual job is the 4-H coordinator, and I'm also the assistant bookkeeper because I have a background in accounting.
Well,
so I have lots of different things that I do.
Wonderful. Well, with the Madison County Fair right around the corner, I thought it would be great to have you guys in to kind of hear more about your involvement with the youth in our county and what that involvement looks like for the county fair. So what does a typical year look like for the extension office and your involvement with 4-H?
Yeah, so honestly, even though the county fair is only a week long, or that's what everybody sees, fair is like we're prepping for fair the minute the fair gets over. We're preparing for the next year. So 4-H is a year-long program with enrollment starting in September. So youth are starting to enroll and attending club meetings and doing community service all throughout the year. And then they really focus on their fair projects, I would say, starting like in the spring and summertime. So honestly, like members are doing fair things all year long. Even though they're just showing that 1 week.
Yeah. Okay. So what does 4-H stand for?
So 4-H there's 4 H's. It's head, heart, hands, and health. Mm-hmm. And so 4-H is a national organization that if I want to say right, it's the largest youth organization. And we have so many kids that are involved in 4-H and FFA in Madison County. We just have such a strong representation of a 4-H in Madison County.
Yeah. So then how does that 4-H program tie in with the ISU Extension Office?
So the ISU Extension Office is like the hub for Iowa 4-H for the national 4-H program.
Okay.
So they're just the ones that have taken on the responsibility of 4-H and then taking it out to the county offices.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And so Extension brings kind of the local connection of research-based information to our county levels. And it's comprised of 4 different programs. So we have A&R, Community and Economic Development, and Health and Human Sciences. And then we also have youth programming. So the nice thing with 4-H is it ties in really well to that youth programming and helps bring curriculum to individuals who may not even know what 4-H is all about.
Yeah, very cool. So behind the scenes, you say that preparation for the fair starts right when the last one ends. But As we're getting closer to fair, what does that look like for you guys behind the scenes?
So right now, a lot of it is like the fair entries and actually getting all of your projects entered online, helping families navigate because the online systems are kind of a beast. Mm-hmm. And so it's a lot of answering questions, making sure everybody gets their stuff in, helping determine, I have this project that I did at home. Where where can I enter it at the fair? Because almost anything that someone does can be turned into some kind of a fair project as long as you've set a goal for yourself.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you also have adults that are entering in some way, shape, or form for the fair as well?
Yeah, so the fair has like the 4-H and FFA shows, which are youth focused, but then they also have so many open class divisions, which can be youth or adults.
Okay.
And so it brings in a lot more of the community by offering those open class opportunities.
So do you guys handle those registrations for those, or?
We do not. They have their own superintendents that are in charge of each open class division.
Yeah.
And so we work closely with them, but we don't actually manage those registrations.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So what are your biggest tasks that you have to handle that week before a fair starts?
A lot of it is just the organization of everything. So the week before the fair, everybody's got their stuff entered. And so then it's just organization of all of the like entry materials and check-in, because everybody will have to come in and we have to make sure that we know that they're there and make sure they have their ribbons when they check out and make sure projects don't get lost while they're being like on display at the fair. So it's just a lot of organization, scheduling of the judges, that kind of stuff, that more of like the administrative stuff that no one wants to think about.
Yeah.
It just happens and we're like, it
That's what you guys are handling.
It doesn't just happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many youth are participating in 4-H this year?
So right now we have about 286 4-H members, which are kids in grades 4 through 12. And then we have around 111 Clover kids, which is grades kindergarten through 3rd grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we have about 50 volunteers that operate all of the clubs within the county.
Okay. And like the information, you guys get the information and disseminate it to those clubs to do what they need to with that?
Yep.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So out of all those clubs, how many total fair entries do you have this year?
So that it's kind of hard to, because entries are still rolling
Right.
in as we go, but we have around 1,400 livestock entries so far. We have over 100 clothing and communications exhibits, and then our static entries, which are the projects that get put on display in the Jackson building during the fair, those ones are still rolling in. Last year we had over 500 exhibits, and we kind of anticipate our numbers to continue growing. So I would say we'll probably have like closer to 600 static exhibits this year at the fair.
Yeah. So total, you're over 2,000 entries.
Yes.
It's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yes.
Awesome. What projects areas tend to be the most popular?
I would say, and jump in if you have any different, I would say livestock is always our biggest area. Like the beef project area is always really big. Our horse project has grown a lot. Okay. But honestly, so has our like rabbits and poultry, because that's a good introductory animal for kids to start getting into showing. But then like for static, we have a ton of photography exhibits, and our food and nutrition. Everybody likes to show that they can bake a cake or make some cookies.
Which I think that the 4-H volunteers are doing a really good job of showing people that the fair isn't just about the livestock. I mean, historically, that was one of the biggest things at the fair. But I know that, like, for instance, my family, I grew up on a farm, but now we don't live on a farm. We just have a dog. And my son still wants to be a part of the fair. And so he brings things like Lindsay's talking about with the cakes and posters and presentations. We do clothing and communication so that they can just get that real world experience. And it's just a really good opportunity for them to do that.
Yeah, very cool. I didn't know there was a pet. Like, show your pet. My daughter heard about that last year, and so then she's like, Mom, like, no. Our pets are not cut out to be around, like, other pets.
Yes.
But it's cool that there's an easy entry where if you're not a farmer or have livestock, to be able to do that, to be able to step in and participate.
Yeah, we have really awesome superintendents that have been working really hard to put on, like, different classes to give an introduction to those kids. So we have the dog project where they have dog classes starting in March, and they can take their dogs and they can learn all about showing dogs and practice. And the superintendent is like super knowledgeable. And we have a cat department. The rabbit superintendent puts on classes of how to trim your rabbit's toenails. So the superintendents are doing awesome at promoting their different project areas, and the numbers are showing that.
Yeah, very cool. So yes, kids are learning how to show and doing all that. What other skills do you think they're kind of accidentally learning as they're going through this 4-H program?
Yeah, I would say that, communication, because they're having to not only talk to their peers, but they're also having to learn how to communicate with adults and people they don't know. But then also leadership skills. We have a ton of like mentorships, like accidental mentorships that happen between those older 4-H members and the younger kids. Each club has their own set of officers that they elect every year. So those kids are stepping up into a leadership role. We have it's called the Youth Council, which is an additional leadership opportunity for our senior 4-H members. So that's grades 9 through 12, where they can join, and it's all the clubs coming together to as an additional leadership opportunity. And so they're able to plan countywide events. And so it's really showing them that leadership quality. So yeah, they're getting so many skills that they don't even know that they're getting.
Yes, those leadership skills are going to help them for a long time to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can you share a story of a young person who has grown through the 4-H program?
Do you have one? I always divert back to our youth council kids, just because they are, if they're on youth council, it means that they're part of another 4-H club, but they've taken the extra step to go above and beyond in their leadership. And so by joining that youth council, they're really showing their commitment to 4-H. And so I've really seen those kids graduate and go far with their lives.
We have one specific member on the youth council that I think of, that they were looking for different opportunities to get some fundraising for youth council, and she came up with the 4K for 4-H. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And so they just do a 4K out. They start out at the fairgrounds, and the amount of leadership that she took on is incredible, just to see a high school student that can plan something as big as that from start to finish. And of course she has help from the other youth council members, but she does some incredible things, like lining up. I think they use something called Run Sign Up. Yes. And so she coordinates all of that, coordinates the sponsorships that are coming through. And that level of leadership I know that it's going to take her far in whatever she chooses to do in her career later on.
Yeah, very cool. The Shopper, the Madisonian, and the Exchange, your locally owned weekly publications from Madco Media Group in Winterset. The Shopper arrives free in mailboxes across Madison County, the Madisonian keeps you connected in print and online, and the Exchange is Iowa's largest marketplace publication. Plus, promote your business or events on our 10 digital billboards across Winterset. From design and copy to office services, we can do your light work. Madco Media Group, see what we can do for you. Located just off the square in Winterset. Locally owned, trusted, and connected. Call 515-462-1535 or email ads@madcomedia.com. Because local is where the heart is. So have you had rewarding moments as leaders with the youth?
Oh, absolutely. Just watching some of those members that gain their confidence, that come in almost too scared to ask for their t-shirt, and then you see them the next year giving a presentation at Communications Day. Just watching that confidence build, watching them gain new talents, of a kid that came to a workshop not knowing anything about art, and now that's their passion, is they love painting or something like that. So it's just watching them accomplish those goals that they didn't originally think were possible, just because of the skills and the leadership that they've gained through 4-H.
Yeah. And when they bring in their projects for the fair, because that's kind of a way for them to put on display what they've been working so hard on. And you can tell just by the look in their eyes when they come in and they are so excited to share what they've done with the judges. That's rewarding for us.
Yeah. So you kind of just touched on this. Do you see a lot of kids try something new? Like they're kind of niche, but they get into 4-H and they see all these other things they can be doing. And so they jump into something that is new to them.
Yeah. So like one thing that comes to mind is usually kids join, if they're going to show livestock, they join with one animal that they have at home, and that's what they're going to show, whether that's a dog or a pig or a cow. That's what they're going to bring, is what they have at home. Well, then as they grow in 4-H and they make friends, well, so-and-so shows pigs. Maybe I should try showing a pig. And so then they like work with their friend and they're going to keep the pig at their house because they have the ability to. And so then now this person that just showed rabbits before is now also a swine exhibitor. And so we've really seen them branch out just between the connections that they make at the fair.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
So their little comfort level is getting bigger and bigger as they're getting these passive leadership skills.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what should fairgoers know before they step into some of your buildings where there's exhibits?
I think what I would say anyways is that the extension office is always willing to help. I think that's before you step in, knowing that if I don't know exactly what I'm doing, just giving us a call and reaching out to us, we would be more than happy to explain it. I know that some people call and they're really hesitant because they think we're too busy to help them during that, which don't get me wrong, we're crazy busy this time of year, but we absolutely want you to call and feel comfortable about walking into those buildings to show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I would say, like, I mean, we've kind of touched on it, but there's so much more than just livestock at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's an opportunity for everyone to get involved no matter what your interest is. Anything can be turned into a 4-H project, no matter how basic it might seem. So like Nicole said, reach out to us because we're really good at coming up with, yeah, I think this would fit in this category.
And even if we don't know, we'll find out.
Yeah, we will find a way for it to be a fair project.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Are there any exhibits or events or showcases that you think people should make a point to see?
I mean, walking through like all of the livestock barns, just seeing all the hard work that those kids have put in, but then also making sure you walk through the static building, like the Jackson building, because there's, like I said, hundreds of 4-H projects on one side, but then there's also hundreds of open class projects on the other side. So you get to see all the different projects being youth projects versus adult projects. Just walking through those buildings is like a great thing to see all of the hard work that people have put in.
So what is your favorite part of Fair Week?
That's a great question. I mean, I would say like the premium auction is always a hit for me, just because not only does that mean the end of the crazy week that is the fair for us, but it's also rewarding to see all of the like the community support of the 4-Hers and their projects, because we have so many businesses that either show up or donate ahead of time to the auction, and those kids are getting the money to put back into their projects for the next year.
That's what I was going to say too, was more so like seeing all of the community people come together, whether that be that they're a volunteer or that they sponsored something, our superintendents that are working so hard to make sure that the shows run smoothly. Just everybody coming together. It's a really beautiful thing because they want to see the betterment of our youth and in this community. And so that's really cool.
So is this kind of the one time that all the 4-H groups come together, or does that happen other times during the year?
For the most part, this is where like we get the most of them together. I would say throughout the year, like the youth council, they'll put on events where they invite all the clubs, and you get some people, like they do a movie day at the Iowa Theater. But you don't get as many kids to show up to that as you do the county fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So this is definitely the biggest culmination of all of them.
The second thing that we do that kind of recognizes our 4-Hers is our awards banquet in the fall. And so that's a really good opportunity to get the clubs together and have them just recognize everything that's going on.
Yeah, celebrate their wins.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So why is community support for 4-H so important?
Yeah, I would say just between our nearly 400 4-H members, community support and volunteers are just the only reason that this program can actually take place, because Nicole and I can't take care of 400 kids and monthly club meetings and community service opportunities. So it really relies on the community supporting those clubs and the volunteers stepping up to be the leaders. All of these clubs do fundraising every year, so in order to operate and do those awesome events that they do. And so by having the community supporting that really shows and helps the youth grow.
Yeah. I think that's one reason growing up here in this county, that I came back and wanted to take on the extension director role, was because it's really cool to see the community that's so involved in my upbringing even. And I know that we have a lot of our youth that go on to college, and then it's exciting for us because we bring them back as interns and they've shown at the fair and they kind of know what's going on. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Very cool. So if there's community members out there that are wanting to play a role in 4-H, you're looking for volunteers, you're looking for people to help participate in those fundraising efforts. Are there any other ways that the community can step up alongside you?
Not only volunteering, but just participating in the programs that we offer. That's one of the biggest ways that we are able to keep going, is just by having the attendance, by having people attend the workshops that we put on, signing your kids up to do the different events. Having the participation is really the way that we keep our organization going.
Okay, so what kind of workshops do you do?
So I can specifically talk about, we do a lot of youth programming, especially throughout the summer. We do a ton of different day camps. So like this summer we put on a babysitting basics clinic where grades 5 through 7 can come in and learn all the important things surrounding being a babysitter. But then we also do we did a Waves of Color camp where it was more about learning about visual arts and a project you could take to the fair. We've done animal science camps partnering with McFable Farms and taking kids out there and getting them the hands-on animal experience. So we have a ton of different youth programs that we put on, and we do those throughout the year as well, more based after school workshops. So we have a ton of different youth programs, but then we also do adult programming.
Yeah. And I kind of head up a lot of the adult programming. So from the A&R standpoint for Ag and Natural Resources, we do private pesticides so that farmers can come in and get their licensure, just the continuing education for it and understand more about that. We do farmland leasing. Tim Christensen's our farm management specialist, and he puts on a great class that helps individuals understand more about that. We've done Beekeeping 101 because that's been something that people have been really interested in lately, just as a hobby. There's a lot of ag and natural resources that we do. And then from the health and human sciences side, we do Serve Safe. So that's something that's required of people that go into the food industry to have that under their belt. So they do that. We just did a My Wellbeing program, and we partnered with Imagine the Possibilities. And so our health and human science specialist came and put on a program about just well-being in general, financial well-being, health and well-being, just everything that encompasses that. And then from, which one am I missing?
Community and Economic
Development. So Jenny Hargrove is also from our community, and she is the Community and Economic Development Specialist. and she does some grant writing programming, and that's been a great success here. So yeah, we have a little bit of everything.
Okay. And these are all listed on your website. Would that be right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if people are looking for things, check out your website.
Yeah, or give us a call, because even if we don't have a program that somebody maybe is interested in, we can definitely look into some opportunities to bringing it to the community.
Cool. So let's look ahead for just a minute. What excites you most about the future of 4-H in Madison County?
I would say the continued growth that we're seeing over the last, I've been here for 5 years, and every year our 4-H numbers have grown.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just the continued growth and getting more participation, we're outgrowing. I've had multiple clubs this year outgrow the spaces that they were meeting in because they just have so many members attending. And so they're looking at where else can we meet that's going to allow us to have more kids. And I'm like, that is a great problem to have.
Same with the fair. We're bringing in so many projects livestock wise that they're kind of outgrowing the barns, which is great.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I think just that growth and like continued participation is what I'm excited. Like how many kids can we get? That's my goal. Is like, I'm not setting a top number. I just want to see how much we can grow the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you have goals for how to grow the program?
So we kind of try every year some different marketing techniques. Honestly, a lot of our growth, because one of the things when we get new people, we ask them like, how did you hear about us? A lot of it is word of mouth. And like, well, my friend does it, so I wanted to try it out. And so then it's like the clubs recruit their own kids. We can market as much as we want, but until somebody says, yeah, 4-H is really cool, then that's going to entice their kids to realize like, oh, maybe I do want to do this.
Yeah. I think that like we've even had out of county individuals that have been interested in coming to Madison County because they really have heard some really great things about our 4-H groups, and that's really exciting for us. Just to grow any way possible. We're happy to bring more 4-Hers on.
That's so awesome. So if you could tell every parent one thing about 4-H, what would it be?
I would say that 4-H is more than just ribbons and fair week. It's about like building that youth confidence and those leadership skills, letting kids discover new interests that they might not have known about before, and like becoming engaged members of the community. That's like one thing 4-H definitely promotes, is being a good community member, being a good team member.
I couldn't have said that better myself.
So last thing is, what do you hope people take away from their 4-H experience?
Confidence, leadership, friendships, knowledge about different project areas, so that they're able to make a difference in whatever community they land in the future, just being able to be a good citizen of their community.
And career readiness, being a great citizen within their own careers. I think that is something that we strive for as well.
Yeah, very cool. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
I don't think so.
I think that pretty well covers it.
A lot.
Well, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for all that you're doing in the youth of today and our community, and getting everyone ready for Fair Week.
Oh, yeah.
So be sure to like and subscribe and check them out at ISU Extension. Thank you for listening to Bridging the Gap, the Madison County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where Madison County's stories and businesses connect. We hope today's conversation gave you a deeper look at the people and passion behind our local community. To learn more about today's guest, visit their website, and for more chamber events, membership, or resources, visit www.madisoncounty.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, and join us next time as we continue bridging the gap across Madison County.